Am I ready?
Yep.
Okay, I'm filming this, 1 for me, and 2 for Lacey, because this is a dope thing we can do at YA. Basically what it is, it's real simple. You get a board and a bunch of sticky notes, and you put on a timetable.
It's called storyboarding.
It's called storyboarding. You put on a timetable the story of your next year. What do you want to accomplish? And you pick, this is what the verbs, whatever you want to describe.
Your why.
This is your why. It doesn't correlate horizontally. It's like its own little thing. So why? What do I want to be? I want to be growth, love, joy, balance, fulfillment. And then you move over, okay, how am I going to use these categories? Learning/work, spiritual, religion, personal, family, friends, health. And what do I want to accomplish? What are metrics? What are, assets I can do in the next year, basically, for next July. And then you take all of these and you pick out ones you want in 90 days. So if I'm just looking purely at what is it called? What are these?
Your why.
My why. Growth. So for me, my growth is I'm getting into my career. I'm expected to pull all these certifications. I'm expected to learn very complicated hardware and very complicated software like Cisco Meraki, firewalls, APs. And then in school, I'm expected to graduate. And then personal growth, I'm expected to start being an adult. So that's kind of tough to live on your own. Love, we won't go there. Love horizontally, love vertically for God, and then just love in my life, love for myself, enough to respect myself, to wait for someone who's going to respect me like I respect myself. Joy, being joyful, just like Lacey. Being joyful in all things, in here, but especially out here. I can control a lot more of what I say than what I think. So let's just start speaking and we'll get to thinking. Balance, I'm taking on too much. I always take on too much. It's a character trait. So balance.
You're a Jorgensen.
Yeah, taking on too much. And then fulfillment, everyone wants fulfillment. You could be CEO of the world. You could be living under a street. They could be the same exact thing if you don't have fulfillment. Learning, so what do I want to do in my learning/work? I want to earn 2 of those certifications I'm getting before next July.
Are those cybersecurity certifications?
Those are Cisco, either Cisco or like A+ or Network Plus. So certifications in my field. So
and you want to do that by July 1st?
July
Is that your
1st.
time frame?
Yep, and then I want to have 2 one-on-ones a month at work where I get documented feedback and I want to analyze and then not get that feedback again, basically. I want to see what I'm doing and see, because, just keep getting watered, keep getting reviewed at work.
Are you guys, is that part of that you're giving feedback to, or are you just getting feedback?
Both.
Because we often say in Visage, to get feedback, you have to give feedback.
I just want to hold myself to reaching out and getting one-on-ones. What happens in those one-on-ones is whatever. Straight A's last semester. I get good grades now, so got straight A's, the last 3 semesters?
Your last 3 years.
I don't like the peanut gallery. I'm just going to say, you just keep talking. It's like every sticky, you want to come up here and write the board? I'm just playing. And then I want to graduate. Obviously, I've stretched myself really thin to graduate early. And when you do that, there's a lot of volatility. So I just got to stay the course, because the second I misstep, I could very easily get thrown into the spring bucket of graduations. Not ideal. And then get an offer at my work, which I kind of already have, kind of don't already have. And more importantly, develop a marketable skill. So I always think about starting a business, right? But I got to think about, what are my marketable skills? Well, I don't got none. My marketable skill would be doing lawn care or something. So develop that marketable skill and just grow that.
And what's the metric? What's the time frame?
Get a job after college.
Okay.
That could kind of self-explanatory. I don't want to be like graduating and then McDonald's, flipping fries.
You don't flip fries.
You don't flip fries.
See, I'm already bad at McDonald's. Can't work at McDonald's. Spiritual, I want to give a sermon. We have opportunities at our Rev to give sermons, and that's something I feel drawn to. Or give a sermon in some other medium. There's so many mediums you can talk to people. Maybe just speak about what I've learned. Do something, because I'm decent at communicating. So project that spiritually or in the church. Read the Bible every day without fail. This has been something I've been doing since I came to God, and I have not failed yet. So we'll see if we can keep that up. Truly open my heart to God frequently. There's no metric on that. Don't try to put a metric on that. But there are so many. Yeah, I know. Thank you for being quiet. I appreciate it. There are so many things that can run through your head that to sit in peace and listen is hard. And so trying to do that more often. Bring someone to church. I've never done that. I know evangelism is a interesting topic. And I don't know how far I want to go into the deep end of it. But, I mean, Allie's already done it. She's brought someone to church. Claire, I want to do the same kind of thing. Where it's like I see someone, meet them, and I'm like, hey, we can hang out, go to a movie, whatever, friend, girlfriend, whatever. But let's also hang out in this medium spiritually and go from there. And then show someone the heart of God. That doesn't mean like put them on their hands and knees and have them crying, but that just means like the heart of God has changed me. I want to give a window into that for someone that needs it. The heart of God has given me so much freedom from everything I was bonded by that I want to give a glimpse into that by someone else. Personal growth. Journal every day for 30 days consecutively. Doesn't matter at what point. Journaling's really helped me, especially writing down things I'm grateful for and taking notes throughout the day, even if I can't read them because I have bad handwriting. And with the hard part of that is bringing that journal along, taking the times to do it, and sitting there and actually writing it down. Personal go on 10 dates by the end of the year. Don't matter if it's the same girl, different girl. I really struggle to look kind of around me and really like pick up on signals and put confidence into kind of looking for relationships, and I tend to take easy routes like dating apps and stuff. So now I actually want, and it doesn't have to be like date, dinner date, car doors for her, but like, you know what I'm saying, get to know, to have 10 opportunities, whether it's the same person or different people, to get to know someone and feel out kind of my own perspective on that world. Get my own place by next July.
So to clarify, no later than July 1st?
Get my own place by next July. See what happens. I could get my own place today. I can pay rent, you know, but I want it to be right, and I want the timing to be right. And so I don't want to feel pressured to, but I do want it to be on there. Leadership role in the church, whether that's leading a Rev group, whether that's leading a men's group, whether that's leading someone to like being a greeter, doesn't matter. By next March, I want to give back because I've gotten, and I feel like that's where I'm going next. Family, connect with Allie 3 times before she leaves for college. It's hard for me and Allie to sit down, especially now Brady's in the picture. It's hard for us to sit down and really get to know each other and get away from distractions, let's say, and actually get to like the heart of our lives, especially since there's so much turmoil in our past. So connecting with her without distraction would be great. Visiting Allie 4 times at school this year. I'm going to want to go up for college games. I want to go up see her. So 4 times is a pretty good goal, twice a semester. Call Poot daily while she's in Florida, even if I'm getting tired of her. I know she really, even if we don't talk about nothing, she really appreciates the effort, and she's so social that just that daily check-in would just be a powerful tool for maintaining what we, because we've also come out of kind of a, dump of a relationship that we've had in our past to really build something strong. So I want to keep growing on that. 1 family dinner a month. We live in 3 different states at points. So even if it's over FaceTime, taking that time and eating, breaking bread, bread of life, whatever.
Yeah.
Friends, start a men's group, not like an official sign up, and just have a group of men that we could do stuff like this. Maybe talk about a book we're reading. Maybe go fishing, but consecutive guys, even if it's just me, Austin, and Keith, that's a pretty good men's group. But start something like that, even if it's just friends. I don't want it doesn't have to be super ordained or super coordinated, but just you know, if I'm gonna have a bachelor party or one of them, you know, I have that pool of guys, and I know so many guys my age, especially before when I was hanging out with dudes outside of church, they were always looking for that, but never willing to admit to themselves and take a step back personally and ego-wise to try to actually create those connections. They were so headstrong that their way to the highway, and that never got them nowhere. Have everyone over. So I want to do this one time this summer. I know, and why everyone, I just mean the people that I'm meeting at YA. This, of course, is your house, so you can do whatever, but I wanted to, before September, have some of those guys over, just to get to know them better, to show them my side of things a little bit. Make 5 new bi-weekly friends by March. What are bi-weekly friends? Friends you see at least bi-weekly. It's hard, it's hard to make friends, especially when everyone's busy, that you see regularly, and it doesn't have to be organized, but I want to meet 5 people that I'm like, hey, we see each other once in a while. And I've done a great job of that recently, but I actually want some metric of it, because I feel like I have 2 or 3 bi-weekly friends now. So if I could have like 8, and then, you know, relationships, marriage, whatever will come, but to build that now would be great. Bring a new friend to YA by the end of the year. Not a friend, a stranger. That person is living their own life yet, we haven't met, but bringing them there, seeing if they like it. I get a lot out of YA. I know there are a lot of lost people my age, so finding one and bringing them. Health, heal my shoulders. I'm going to call and try to get an MRI next week and go from there. I have done everything I can. Talking hours of YouTube, hours in the gym, hours of physical therapy to try to set my shoulders right, to try to fix it. I think one of them or both of them are torn, and I need to see that with my eyes. I don't care. I know doctors are hesitant to give MRIs, especially to kids, especially when they want to try everything before. I'm like, you can try whatever you want. We're only going to hit our deductible once with Poot's hip surgery, so we're getting this now. Health, 1 beer and dessert a week. Does that mean I want to cut back to 1 beer and 1 dessert a week? No, that actually means I want to add one a week. I have had body disorder. You guys know.
Yeah.
So it's time for me to add some fun into my life. I haven't had a dessert probably since, I can't even think. So since we got ice cream with Austin, like a month or 2 ago. So adding that into my life, adding a little flavor would be helpful. Health, respect the Sabbath. You could think, shouldn't that be in spiritual? No. I think for my health, mental and physical, the best thing I can do is rest. Get my mind off of things and really take a full day to not go to the gym, to not do any work or homework. Take a full day to appreciate the world and the life around me and the people around me especially. And you know, 1 night off per week, what does that mean? My last week, I worked Monday night until 9:30, and then I went to church until 9:30 on Tuesday, and then Wednesday night, I was volunteering at Rev until like 10. Thursday night, I had YA until like 9:30, and then Friday night, I went over to Austin's, and then we went to a movie, and I didn't get home till 2. So I'm gonna take one of those nights and do like some chores, walk the dog. And then this is the last category. This is, we pull from this and we do 90 days. So what do I want to do in 90 days? Meet a girl in nature, not on a dating app, go on a date. That'd be cool, right? Maybe. She's cute, I don't know. Maybe I'll just put a wig on Hitch and take the dog out. But meet a girl in nature and ask for some type of identification credential, and then use that identification credential to take her out into the world. Bring someone to church, that is here. We talked about that earlier. It doesn't matter if they stay or if they leave, but I just felt it so on my heart when I was filling this out that that's what I'm being called to bring instead of to receive or to harvest or to give, but to bring, because giving and bringing are different. You give your time, but you can bring in your resources. Heal my shoulders, obviously that was on there earlier, and journal every day. Write something down in the morning, write something down in the night. really get into it and really feel like it's increasing, because you can write whatever you want down, but it doesn't matter. And then last thing we did was, last part of this exercise is we write 3 dots next to our most important ones. So my most important one was heal my shoulders, talked about it, bring someone to church, really felt that on my heart, and get an offer and develop a marketable skill. I think what this really does is you have maybe a I am statement, you have something that you want in the next, I'm talking to Lacey here, you have something you want in the next year, but picking through these categories and tying them into what you generally view yourself and your values as, and then charting down actual metrical steps, metric steps that you can take, putting dates on them, and then visualizing it where you can put it somewhere and look at it every day is such a big thing. It's a huge struggle, especially if you're a visual guy, to make goals and then to hold them to them. So this is just a way to be accountable. David Goggins has an accountability mirror, if you know who David Goggins is, where he just puts different either positive, thinking points that he has or different goals. I think this is all of that combined. I think just a roadmap is so hard to develop in life, but if you stop thinking of it as point A to point B, and you start thinking about it as take a right here, take a left here, take a U-turn here, and then you write those steps, I think it really helps you get that final destination. Because if we really look at what I want health in my shoulders. I would like to meet a girl and have a relationship. I would like to be that guy in church that brings and gives instead of receives and is. And I would like to have a marketable career to which I can provide for all the other things. And so listing this out, I think for YA, I will literally buy these boards and the sticky notes and the Sharpies and we can bring them. But if everyone did this, it's just so powerful. And I really believe that. So that's a video.
So this is great.
Yeah.
Outstanding. Just one thing that we need to add to it is that as you accomplish these, you put a check.
Okay.
So if the one-time thing, like you do your sermon, you can put a big check. If it's like visit Ally 4 times a summer, you may have like in the corner, you add a check each time you do it. Mm-hmm. And then you can constantly be updating the 90 days.
And you don't add to it, right?
You can add to it,
but the thing is, like, going back on this, like, that's another thing is you already have all of this in your mind.
And you shouldn't have to add it. Like while you guys are doing yours, I tweaked mine just a little bit, but you're gonna find it doesn't change.
It doesn't change.
It really doesn't
I
change.
really don't think there are any. If you really think about this, like, what do I want out of life? Okay, how do I get that? Okay, like, you can read all the self-help books you want, but at some point you got to start helping yourself. And I think the best way to do that is visually and linearly by looking out into the future, marking dates, having sticky notes. And this isn't a bullet point, right? This isn't one thing. This is so general that you don't feel the pressure of, like, if I only wanted a job and I put everything on here about getting a job, that'd be a lot of pressure. Yeah. But I can take it as it comes in my life, and I got a year to do it, and I have so many focuses, and I just feel better now that's visualized.
Awesome.
So you can stop the video.
Is there a Q&A to this?
Yeah, I'll answer questions.
Well, it's more of a statement.
Of course.
What I noticed, my big takeaway from this, is that you hit different components of your life equally. Your shoulder, your spiritual, your career, and then the whole family, friends, the dating thing. And as I listened to it, I really just said, you really just hit those equally. So, and then I looked up and I noticed you had the word balance there. So you really hit that mark.
Well, what is my main goal? Honestly, my main goal is balance. So how do I visualize balance? Is I just don't focus on one thing. And I just think that anyone that is building a life and is really thinking about this should not focus on one thing, because a life is so many, there are so many paths you take, so many pivots you have. That's the beauty of this, is it takes away that narrow mindset. Because more than anything, what do I want? I want a job, but if I balance it all out, if 1 takes the pressure off this, and three gives me not only balance, but fulfillment, right? These 2 are huge. Fulfillment, that balance will give me fulfillment, because you're not fulfilled without balance. That fulfillment will give me joy. That joy, when you have so much joy for yourself, eventually that spreads to other people. That'll give me love. And through spreading to other people, us learning off each other, what do we have? We have growth. So all these tie together, and then you just illustrate that here. Because you can't have one thing and then say you value this. This is something that is just everywhere in your life, every pool you have. And so you take, that's why I like this exercise, because it's everything. Encapsulates everything.
Balance is something you've always struggled with.
Yeah, the most happiest people I know have the best balance in life.
Yeah.
And the most unhappy people I know are about just like 1 or 2 things. You have just one thing. You think of that person, and you're just one thing you think about that person.
And you can, if you have like
jobs or whatever.
There are points where you're gonna have to have a big priority, but you naturally should. If you look at your year and you're like, 6 months I was training for this thing, but then the other 6 months I was doing this. It balances. It's not like every day. It's like time blocking, where you time block all these things in your life. One day this might completely take over. One day I might be trying to heal my shoulders the whole day, but eventually it'll all culminate together where in 365 days, no matter what I was doing for one day, I was working across the board. So I just really like this. I'm gonna hang it somewhere because it doesn't do you any good if you fold them up and put it in your closet. So yeah.
All right, thank you, Ryan.